Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5. And coming up today is Bristol, one of my favorite tracks in all of NASCAR and in all of racing, period. But before we get to Bristol, let's take a brief look at the season standings because, well, we are falling very quickly through the point standings. And the reason for that, well, every time we simulate a race, it is not being kind to us at all. So if we go back just a couple of races, first of all, we go back one race to Texas, simulated that race, 25th position. Yikes, that is definitely not going to help our point situation. And then one race prior to that at Homestead, 19th. So this game is not being kind to us any at all, which is only going to ramp up the excitement. We are going to have a very hard time making it into the playoffs unless we get a victory. Because the more and more races that I simulate as we move through the season, the farther and farther down in points we're going to get. So it's going to make things very exciting, and that leads me into a discussion about today's race at Bristol. So we've done a lot of racing here on the channel at Bristol in the past, not only with NASCAR Heat 5, but in Heat 4 and so on. And it gets really exciting at Bristol because especially in that final stage, when you get the longest green flag run you're going to get of the entire race, and you start getting into a lot of lap traffic, and the AI in the Heat series have some interesting characteristics which can make it very hard to get through lap traffic, particularly as the race moves deeper and deeper toward the finish line. So that's going to make it very important that we're able to handle that traffic and figure out how to get through there so that we lose as few positions as possible while working our way through traffic. And also, just maybe, we can make up some spots while working our way through traffic. But there is a lot that we're counting on in today's race. You notice we're sitting in 8th position in the points right now. Last time we were together, I believe we were in 3rd position in the points. So we are falling quite quickly. If I swap over to the playoff standings, you can see we're sitting in 10th. That is not where we want to be. We need to continue moving up as high as we can in the point standings on the races that we're actually doing. So with all of that information, it is vital that we have a good run at Bristol. So let's get to it. All right, folks, it is time for Bristol, and boy, do I love saying that. And of course, since we're in the Cup Series now, 25% race at Bristol is a lot more laps than it used to be in trucks or Xfinity. And the more laps at Bristol, the better, or at least as long as things are going well. We're starting in the 6th position, and the setup I'm using is basically identical to what I put here on the channel. You'll find that I do that a lot, unless we happen to be doing a certain type of challenge where I use one of the default setups or something along those lines.
Be ready.
So 6th position, our goal right now, as always at the beginning of the race, is just to survive. Let's try to get single file.
Looking inside now.
Let's try to get spread out a little bit and see what we can do, what kind of speed we've got, what kind of speed the AI's got, all those types of things. We've got 30 laps here in stage 1, which is, oh, look out. Okay, the 4 wanted to come down. That is fine with me. Again, we're in no particular hurry.
Car on the outside now.
Trying to give everybody room, hoping they give me a little room along the way. I kind of doubt it, but...
Car outside, hold your line.
So I have been doing a lot of iRacing lately, so it's going to take me a little bit to get back into the NASCAR Heat swing of things.
Hold your line, got one outside.
Because the cars drive nothing alike in the two games, as you would expect. So I'm going to have to remember braking points, turning points, all those sorts of things, and the feel of the car.
Stay on the bottom
But
here.
I'm sure we'll get to that
Got one up
here
top.
pretty quickly.
Wow, that's fast.
All right, so where are we right now?
Clear
4th
high,
position. All right,
got
I'll
one
take
peeking
that.
Inside. You got room. You're clear.
All right, car's handling just fine.
Wow, that's fast.
Of course, not a very long run. 30 laps, of course, is longer than we've been running in the other series for a normal stage at Bristol. But overall, I mean, 30 laps at Bristol is not long at all. So not a lot of tire wear to worry about here. But we'll keep an eye on the car And based on how I'm driving it, we'll see how the car changes over time. Each lap puts a little bit more wear on the tire, and we'll keep track of exactly how the car behaves as that happens. So I'm sure as this run continues, I'm going to need to make some adjustments to how I drive the car. I would expect nothing less. Right now I feel like we're faster than the 4, but I can't get an angle on him. Oh, unless he keeps doing that.
Stay low, stay low.
If he keeps doing that, then we might be able to get a run on him.
Careful, still there. Stay low, stay low. Top 3, use it if you need it.
All right, there we go.
20 more laps.
One of the most wonderful things you're going to hear from your spotter all day is you are clear. All right, so now that we're into third position, I look out the windshield and I see that we're coming in on some lap traffic. Now we know at some point during this race, and probably multiple times during stage 3, we're going to encounter the train, where the AI are going to be side by side for multiple rows, and basically nobody's going anywhere.
Got one inside. All right, you're clear.
All right, so we're clear of that lap car. So as long as you can get them one at a time, or even 2 or 3 at a time, you're generally fine.
Got one peeking inside. All right, you're clear.
But right now, basically, I'm just trying to pass the cars as we get to them, take care of the tires a little bit,
Careful,
and just try to
still
get
there.
into
You're all clear
a
up
rhythm.
top.
Not terribly worried about what position we're in right now,
Hold your line. Got
simply
one
because
inside.
we're a
All right,
long
you're
way
clear.
from the end. So a little patience is definitely a virtue at Bristol.
All right, you're clear.
And right now, I have no idea who's running first and second. I have literally
All
no
right,
idea.
Halfway this lap. Car outside.
Oh, that was very nice of those 2 lap cars to go high, give us the bottom. Let's see if the 66 does the same. All right, I was able to get my nose in there because I wasn't sure he was going to. I don't think he was going to give us any room. All right, so the 18, I got to think the 18 is in second place right here.
Stay low, stay low.
If not, then boy, is Kyle Busch having a bad day.
You're all clear up top.
Okay, so he was indeed in second position.
Still there.
So I expect to see him in our mirror coming back to us, trying to get that spot back. Let's see.
Still there
Ooh, the 10.
inside.
Oh, well, he wanted to go to the bottom. All right, so we'll run the
Stay
top a
high up
little
here.
bit. Again, as long as these guys will stay in one spot for us, just pick a groove and stay there, then I'm fine with
You
it.
got room. You're
Doesn't
clear
really
there.
matter to me which way they go, as long as they will stick with a groove. So at this point, I'm going to assume that the 19 is the leader. That would certainly make the most sense.
10 laps to go.
Oh, wow. Stage 1 is flying by. We have 10 laps to go. And remember our goals. As many stage points as we can get. And second position will definitely get us some serious stage points. Of course, a win in a stage will get us even more than that. Plus get us that elusive playoff point that we would love. But right now, I'm not sure we're going to have enough time to get there. Oh, look ahead at all of the traffic. This is a little bit earlier than I expected to get into this type of traffic. I knew we would have a few of the guys at the back of the field that we would deal with in the first and second stage, but I did not quite expect this many cars. All right, so the 32 is going to go low.
Careful, still there. Careful, still there.
So now that we're coming up on the end of the stage, I would assume that we're going to pit
5 to go,
at the
driver.
end of stage 1. That seems to be the trend in these races. So we'll see if that continues here.
Careful, still there.
All right, right now I'm just trying to take care of the car. We've only got a few laps to go in this stage, and there's a ton of traffic here. And I would just as soon not start beating and banging fenders at this point in the race. So I'm just going to be content to pass the 3 car if he gives me an opportunity like this. But otherwise, I was just going to follow him.
Careful, still there. You got room, you're clear there.
You can see now the 19's having a little trouble. He's sort of boxed in.
2 to go.
And that's never any fun, especially when you know there are people coming for positions behind you.
Careful, still there.
And he is all kinds of out of shape up here. He looks like he is quickly losing patience.
Stay on the bottom. White flag, dig, driver. Clear high, bud.
All right, there you have it. Second position here in stage number 1. We'll take it. I thought we might get an opportunity there, but we just needed a couple more laps. And we might have been able to pull off that victory. So, where are we right now? Looks like nobody's pitting. So that's actually a good sign. We will not pit either. 95 laps remaining. We have plenty of fuel, so it looks like these guys are just going to run it straight out.
Coming to the green, driver.
But we'll see after stage 2 once again if anybody pits.
On the inside. All right, you're clear there. Inside. Clear low, clear low.
All right, I would really love to get the lead here on this restart, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's only so hard I'm willing to drive the car right now, especially since I'm thinking we're going to have these same tires for the entire race.
Careful, still there.
Some of these sound effects are hilarious right now.
Careful, still
You could hear right there, it sounded like we were really beating and banging. I don't know that I touched him at all, and if I did, it was minimal contact. But yet it sounded like we were swapping sheet metal. Oh, hello. Now he did get into our right rear right there a little bit, just trying to break our momentum. All right, so the good news for us is once we got the bottom, we were able to get the position. And of course, anytime you can get out front and lead some laps, that is a beautiful thing. Now, to add to the fun factor of today's race, apparently a fly has gotten into the room where I'm recording, and it is now flying right around my eyeballs and doing circles around my head. So apparently it's running a Bristol race of its own. You know, doing the usual stuff that flies do, landing on your forehead, distracting your vision, all those sorts of fun things. But yeah, apparently there's 2 Bristol races going on right now in this room. All right, so once again, I'm just trying to float it into the corners, take it easy on the tires, and we'll find out what kind of pace we got. We already know what's coming within just a few laps, and that's lap traffic and a lot of it.
20 laps to go.
All right, 20 laps to go, which means that I'm expecting within the next couple of laps, and sure enough, out of the corner of the windshield, I can see there is a long string of cars just ahead of us. All right, so let's see what we got for these guys. Again, just watching out for the tires. We don't have a ton of heat behind us. Nobody's really putting a lot of pressure on us, so I'm just going to work my way through here as best I can. Okay, 66 has been going high. If he'll stay there, I'll be happy.
Stay on the bottom here. You're all clear up top.
All right. Now the 73 has been going low, so he stays there. So far, so good.
You're all clear on the bottom there.
All right, now's where it gets a little bit interesting. These guys are 2 and even 3 wide in front of us. Ooh, so there's nowhere to go right now.
Got one peeking outside. You got room. You're clear there.
And these guys are going quite slow, I must say.
Car outside.
As you can imagine, when you get 3 wide like that, nobody's going anywhere very fast. So we just wait our turn.
Still there. Outside. All right, you're clear. Hold your line. Got one inside. All right, you're clear there. All right, you're clear there.
All right, I know the 10 car is having a terrible race.
Clear down low. Still
All right,
there
I was going to try to get down low. That didn't happen. Try to squeeze in front of the 10, which is not enough room there.
All clear. You got room. You're clear.
All right, there we go. So we got through that first batch of lap traffic fairly easily. A little contact here and there, but overall not a big deal. There's the 3 car in front of us again, as well as the 43. And it's going to take me a long time to not think of Bubba being in the 43. That's going to take a lot of getting used to for me.
You're all clear up top there. Last 10 laps, you got to focus.
All right, last 10 laps. And again, as far as I can tell, there's not really a lot of traffic
Still there.
pushing us from behind. It seems like I saw somebody
You're clear there.
when we were in traffic before that was trying to get by us, but right now I don't really see anybody.
All right, you're clear.
But Brad K is the one, I believe, who was behind us earlier. Alright, would have expected the 8 car to be running better than this also. But thankfully,
Still there. All right,
very easy to
clear
get
on
by
that.
him. He gave us plenty of room there. Alright, 6 laps remaining here in the stage. And yeah, I like this view out the windshield right now. There are some lap cars up here, but there's not a huge train of them like we saw toward the very end of stage 1. So that is a wonderful thing. That's exactly what I want to see. All right, the 20 car
Careful.
goes
Still there.
way high on the track,
Careful. Still there.
giving us what
All
we
right,
need
you're
on
clear
the
there.
bottom. I greatly appreciate that. 24 looks like he's going to do the same thing, give us plenty of room.
Still there. Clear all around.
All right, 3 more trips around. Again, we don't really have anybody from behind pushing us hard, so I'm content just to do exactly what we're doing.
Still there. All right, you're clear there. I need 2 more solid laps, bud. Keep it going.
Yeah, we could really use this stage win. So a second place in the first stage, and if we can hold on for another lap or so.
1 more to go.
All right, 37 acting like he didn't want to give us any room there.
You got room. You're clear.
All right, I will not be pushing it. I'm just going to ride home behind these guys to the checkered flag of stage number 2.
You took that stage.
Not bad.
Good job.
So second place in the first stage, victory in the second stage. Yeah, that's a lot of points. So we've done exactly what we needed to do in the first 2 stages. Now we just got to finish it off. We got to bring it home with a good finish. And of course, we're looking very hard at that win, but you just never know. Okay, nobody's pitting up here, so we got 64 laps remaining. Our tire wear looks great. A little bit heavier on the right front than the right rear, which is exactly what I would hope for to keep the car nice and stable. Not necessarily max speed, but it keeps the car nice and stable.
You ready here? Got one peeking outside. All right, you're clear.
All right, so the 2 car immediately dropped in behind us there on the start. So he wasn't even going to try to get the lead. So once again, I'm just going to let the car float through these corners as much as possible. We got a long way to go. And this race is largely going to be decided based on lap traffic. How we get through lap traffic versus how the AI get through lap traffic. Which is a little bit odd because the AI are the lap traffic, but nonetheless. So going into the corners right now, I don't really care about keeping it right on the bottom. You'll notice that I'm going in on the bottom and then I'm letting the car float up, diamonding the corner. For the most part, I'm just allowing the car to do whatever it wants to do right now. And we're going to ride out until we get into the lap traffic, and that is where we'll start having to make the important decisions. But right now, we're just riding. All right, so we have reached lap 70. And everything is clear in front and behind us, which is a little bit odd at Bristol because you usually don't get that. So there are some very good things about being the leader. All right, so here we go. Looking out in front of us, I see a couple of lap cars. But the main thing I'm looking for is really 2 things. Number 1 is how many lap cars are there running close together. And right now there's just a couple. That'll be important later on when we get into these trains of lap cars running side by side and 3 wide and all that. But as long as they're running a single file or only just a couple of them, we're generally okay.
Careful, still there.
All right, and I had a feeling the 66 was going to do that to me.
Clear there.
Came right down in front.
Clear all around.
And then I also look to see what groove they're running. If they're running the bottom groove, then that's perfectly fine as long as they'll stay there. Just
Still
give
there.
me the opening
Clear low there.
is all I ask. You know, the 73, we know he's been running the bottom. We've passed him before,
Careful.
but he stayed there and gave us plenty of room to get around him.
Still there.
All right, now right now, this is sort of the worst case scenario for us. I could try to take this 3 wide on the high side, but I would just soon not do that right now. So this is our first sort of mini train that we're encountering. So I'm going to try to pick my way through this as best I can
You got room. You're clear.
while sticking to the bottom, because I do not want to be on the top of 3 wide in a train if I can help it. And you notice I will not hesitate to stick it in there on the bottom, just because I know how the AI operate here, and if I don't, we'll likely never get through here.
Careful, still there.
All right, so we did them a favor. We helped them thin out a little bit.
You got room. You're clear there. Inside. All right, you're clear.
All right, a few of those guys didn't want to give us any room whatsoever, but we come through here nonetheless. All right, so now we've got some space. Our only hope is that as we continue on in the race, that the guys behind us for position have as much trouble getting through as we do, or more. Of course, we can always pull up the leaderboard and take a look at just how much room we do have and how much these guys behind us are gaining or how much we're gaining on them. But it adds a lot of fun for me to not do that.
Stay low. You're all clear up top there.
Because that way I just sort of have to gauge it by what I can see through my mirror and out the windshield. And just adds a little bit more fun for me to see when they're creeping up on me or if they're creeping up on me. Right now I don't really see anybody.
Careful. Still there.
We'll see if it stays that way.
Careful. Still there. You got room. You're clear there.
All right, I could tell the 00 was going to the bottom. That's where he's been running.
Careful. Still
Oh,
there.
look out. A little out of shape there.
You got room. You're clear there.
All right, 96. We got a nice run on him. Try to get the
Still
bottom.
there. You got room. You're clear there.
All right, a team car.
Careful. Still there.
Surely the 88 would want to give us a little room.
You're
Sure.
clear.
Yeah, he gives us plenty of room, so we're able to move through there. And once again, we're back to the 43. All right, looked like he wanted the bottom. But we got just enough in there that he conceded the spot to us. And so far, this lap traffic has been really kind to us for the most part. We're getting a lot of single file,
Hold your line. Stay high.
and we're getting a lot of small numbers, like one or two of them at a
Got room. You're
time.
clear there. Stay high. Stay high. Still there. You're all clear on the bottom there.
I see Ryan Newman up ahead. Of course, in real life, he would give us absolutely no room whatsoever. Let's see if that continues in the game. You can see he's running the high side. Well, until we get here. And then he's immediately going to pull down and try to pass the 17.
Still there.
All right, I have no idea where I'm going to be able to go here.
Hold your line. Stay
There's, oh yeah, we've got the train here, a little mini train in front of us. I'm going to back out of it, try to get to the bottom.
high. Careful. Still there.
I had thoughts of going to the high side there,
All right. You're clear.
but fortunately I thought better of it.
All right. You're clear.
All right, so at this point we've got basically a regular stage remaining
Still there.
in the race.
Careful. Still there.
All right, so both of these guys go to the bottom. That's exactly what
Still there.
I needed since I'm already up top.
All right. You're clear there.
And here we go. Here's our first real legitimate train.
Careful.
So
Still
we've
there.
got, what do we have, like 6 rows deep side by side here? So I've got to get through here.
Got one peeking outside.
So I'm going to try to get to the
Outside,
inside
outside.
and work our way through just like that as quickly as I can. Woo! Hello, these guys are brake checking hard
Got one outside
in
now.
the middle of the corner. So me and Cole Custer almost had it coming together. Oh, okay. So Joey Gase pulled down right in front of me there.
Got one peeking outside.
Yeah, this is a mess.
Still there.
You can hear me having to get on and off the gas.
Clear high, clear high.
Just
Outside,
trying to
outside.
get through here as quick as I can,
Alright, clear
but at the
outside.
same time, trying not to take any undue risks.
You got room. You're clear.
But yeah, some of these guys are going quite slow, especially through the center.
Still there. You got room. You're clear.
All right, so we made it through. That was looking bad for a little while, but we managed to get through it. It's in a few laps. Didn't take too terribly long to get through there.
Careful. Still there.
All right, I have no idea
Clear
how
all
far
around
we've lapped up into the field, but I'm looking at our champ right now in front of us. So I got to think he's running, what, at least 15th, if not higher than that. I mean, certainly did not expect to lap him. So that means that we're going to, oh, hello.
Careful. Still
I was
there.
going to try to just sail right on by him on the outside, and then he came right up there with me.
Still there.
All right, let's try the bottom. All right, he's going to
You got
fight it
room. You're
hard,
clear there.
but eventually we'll be able to clear him.
20 more laps. No mistakes.
All right, if I remember here in just a few laps, I'll actually pull up the leaderboard, and we'll see if we can get an idea of how close or far these guys are behind us for position. Because right now, I literally have no idea.
Stay on the bottom here. Top 3, use it if you need it.
All I know right now is that we have clear sailing in front of us for a few laps. And it come at a really good time because we've been in some traffic here lately. So this will give us an opportunity to breathe a little bit. And if there is somebody who is trying to chase us down, then they'll be in a little bit of traffic right now. So we can extend our lead some. All right, here's the 20 car again. He hasn't given us any trouble in the
Stay low,
past.
stay low. You got
Looks like
room,
he's going to
you're
give us
clear
room
there.
here as well. Greatly appreciated, sir. All right, 15 laps to go. Let's actually pull up our leaderboard. Oh, wow. 11 seconds behind.
Still there?
Okay, didn't quite expect to have that kind
Alright,
of
you're
lead.
clear there. Careful, still there. Car there on the outside. Still there.
Yeah, 11 seconds is a huge lead. And I'm also seeing... Yikes, a lot of
Clear all
contact in
around.
here. All right, he's going to the bottom. Yep, I saw that coming. So we're going to try to get around him on the high side.
Clear low, bud.
All right, so no reason to keep that up because now we know what we need to know. And look at that train in front of us. That's got to be where these guys are. I mean, my goodness. They're probably at the front of this train. Because that is a mess. The good news for us is we've got a huge lead. We don't really have to worry a whole lot about getting through this traffic.
10 laps to go.
All right, so we just need 10 solid laps. Again, passing all of these cars really isn't a huge deal. So I'll just take what I'm given.
Car on the outside.
Oh, hello.
Top
Oh, I
3,
appreciate that. Thank you. That was Ryan Newman that got us there, folks. So Ryan Newman has caught us in the right rear.
line, got one inside.
But once again, I'm just trying to bide my time.
Stay high up here.
Since we don't have to worry about going
Careful.
anywhere.
Still there.
But yeah, we greatly appreciate Ryan Newman there cutting us a break and essentially trying to put us out of the race.
Still there.
That seemed like a very Ryan Newman thing to do. Although, honestly, in real life, that's not how that would have went
Still
down.
there.
But in the game, it does not matter. These guys do not care at all. Look at him beating and banging up there. I mean, I'm basically just trying to stay out of the way.
Still there.
There's nobody behind us for quite some
5 to go.
distance,
You
and
got
in fact, I only see one car back there, and I don't even know if that's a lap car or what. So, it may come down to the last couple of laps, so I may have to step on it and start bending some fenders to get through here. But for right now, we're just going to ride it out.
Stay on the bottom here.
Because this is the very definition of a train at Bristol.
Careful,
These guys are
still there.
going absolutely nowhere. And they're just running side by side, clogging up the track.
Still there. Hold your line, got one outside.
And it is no fun to be part of one of these
Still
things.
there. I need 2 more solid laps.
Because there's literally just
Keep it
nowhere
going.
I can go
Got
without
one
bending
outside
some
now.
fenders.
Car high, careful there. You're all clear up top there. White flag, bring it home.
All right, here we
Car
go.
outside.
White flag.
All right, clear outside. Outside, outside.
So we're just going to ride it out. One more time around, and we
You're
won't
all
have to
clear
worry
up
about
top.
points anymore for the rest of the regular season. That'll do it. We'll bring home the
Today,
victory
checkered flag.
at Bristol. Now, it was not without its moments there at the end. But nonetheless, we got the job done, and that is the victory we need to ensure ourselves a spot in the playoffs. That might even take them a few cool-down laps to actually get all that sorted out, because there was just a lot going on there at the end of the race. So there you have it. By the end of the race, what is that, 5.5 second lead or so? So they made up several seconds on us there at the end, but no matter. Kyle Busch comes home second. Martin Truex, who looks like he got, what did he get? Stage 1 victory? Is that right? I'm losing track of time and laps at this point. We won stage 2 and 3. Truex wins stage 1, so that'll be a playoff point for him. And we'll come home with 6 playoff points, so that's exactly what we're looking for. Logano 4th, and DiBenedetto, another good run for him at Bristol. That is always the way it seems to work out for him. Brad Kay, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Clint Boyer, and then Ty Dillon. I swear that we lapped Ty Dillon about 5 times in that race. That's the way it seemed to me. Because it seemed like every time we were going through lap traffic, I would see the 13 car. All right, so as we finish up today's race, that had a little bit of something for everybody in that race. We had plenty of times where we were just sort of out there making laps on our own, where we could save our equipment, save our tires. And then, especially there at the end, we had tons of lap traffic, and it was all we could do to just try to stay out of the wall and stay out of being put in the wall by these guys. So our total cut today, $252,654. So as we finish up today's race, that 1 in the win category is exactly what we came for. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5.